Hi guys, so welcome to today's Pick a Pile. We have got, it's an S theme today. So pile number one, you have got the Sage. Oh yeah, get some of that clearing energy going on. Pile number two, we've just gone for a little stone. So I feel like this is one of those things, if you feel like you've got something that needs clearing out, maybe that's for you. If you feel like you need to get grounded, this may be for you. Pile number two could be for you. This is the stone. Or the third S we've got is the little seashell. So if you feel like you just want to set sail, you want to swim away, you want to do what you need to do, maybe that is for you. So again, pile number one, Sage. Pile number two, stone. Pile number three, we have got the shells. Now the decks we're using today, we've got Universal Celtic Tarot, the Vice Versa Tarot, we've got the Tarot of the Old Path, and the Sasuraibito Tarot. Every time that confuses me. Okay, so cards are all shuffled, cards are all picked. Let's go pile number one with the Sage. So what is your overall... Okay, so your overall message you have got is the Empress with the Ace of Swords. Ooh, don't lean over that candle. Now for me, that is actually a really nice opportunity. This is a bit like where you have had... You've had stuff going on where you've been trying to get something working, you've been trying to get something going, and maybe you've been a little bit held up, maybe you felt like there's been a blockage on it. But with that Ace of Swords, like the overall message for you is that you are going to come out through this absolutely full guns blazing. You're going to come out through this with everything that you wanted, everything that you've got is in reach, and everything you are looking for, everything you're trying to harvest, everything you're trying to bring about is going to come through. But you are like, I mean, that pairing is so gorgeous because you've just got that option to get moving and get clarity on what it is. Like this, I mean, I adore this deck anyway, but this card for me is not just, it's not just gaining the clarity. It's like literally cutting through those dark times. And that match with the Empress is just a fantastic, fantastic moment because it feels like whatever you've been trying to build and whatever you've been trying to get off the ground and whatever you've been trying to get growing is going to come through for you. And that is really, really lovely. Now, what's going on in your headspace? You've got the Lone Man in reverse and the Queen of Swords, which Lone Man is kind of like the Hangman in this deck. So those cards to me, it's a little bit like what you're mentally trying to do is put a brave face on it. So my feeling is that what has been going on for you has been a little bit, probably quite lonely. And you're trying to regroup and remember what it is that you've got. But while you're doing this, it's like you're putting the brave face on. And with that Lone Man in reverse, it's like trying to show that you are okay with where you're stuck. And you've got this emotive thing that's happening for you. And it's really easy. We all try and put a brave face on a lot of the time. And like, what is it? There's that phrase of saying, there's three masks that people wear. There's the mask you show the world, the mask you show your loved ones, and the mask you show yourself. Or three faces. Maybe not masks. Anyway, it's all about masks. Talking of face masks, no, another subject. But I feel like in your headspace, it's kind of like thinking, right, if I put a brave face on, I will convince myself that I'm brave, and I will convince myself that I'm okay with what's going on, and I will convince myself that I can cut through everything, I can deal with it, I can be head and shoulders above, I can just keep your chin up, keep going on. And it could be that other people are trying to advise you to do that and trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that, things aren't as bad as they seem, it's a pandemic, we've got all this stuff going on. And it's great, but sometimes it's actually really more important to go within, which is actually what your heart space feeling cards are. So your feeling cards you've got for today, you've got 7 of Pentacles in the reverse view, matched with the 4 of Pentacles in the forward view. Now this is from the Vice Versa deck. So I feel like with this, it's very much a case of, oh hang on, sorry, just wanted to check that I was still recording. It's a little bit like in your heart space, it's that feeling of thinking with that 7 of Pentacles in the away view. It's like sitting, you've got stuff that's built and you've got stuff that's going and you've got progress that you have made, but there's still that feeling of not quite desolation, of loss, but it's like, hang on a minute, I've been trying to get all this growing, I've been putting in all the work, I've been doing what I needed to do, I've been sending messages. I've been, maybe it's a job. Maybe you've been sending out CVs. You've been applying for jobs. Who sends out CVs nowadays? Anyway, old school. Maybe you've been trying to manifest this, and yes, there's stuff coming in, but you feel like there was more that you feel you deserved. And you do deserve it. Like you've got the Empress there. You have got the ability to manifest it and make it happen and make things happen for you how you want them to. But at the moment, this feeling of not quite achieving your goals, of not quite getting ready, not quite getting back what you're putting in, I think is also making you feel a little bit defensive, which echoes back into this Queen of Swords, because this Four of Pentacles to me is it's a stoic. It's very methodical on, I've got this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for my ships to come in. I'm going to wait before I cash my chips in. If I put the work in, if I sit here and if I struggle on putting on that brave face, then I will get my rewards eventually. But it's almost it's quite a lonely space, I think, to be in at the moment. And your final card for what's actually your probable outcome, what you're hoping for, is that Nine of Cups. And that, Nine of Cups, very traditionally getting what you wish for, the wish card. But that one is so beautiful because that is, again, feeding back to that Empress. It's getting what you want. It's getting what you've put in place, what you have worked towards, what you have got, what the plans you've put in place, you are going to get there. So you just got to clear through. You've got to clear through this darkness. You've got to clear through what is going on, and it's almost like I feel like where you are putting on a brave face. I'm all for that to a certain degree, but this card for me is cutting through all that nastiness, all that darkness, all that heavy weight that is burdening you. And these are all solo cards. Every single one of these cards. I mean, the Empress, yes, she's grounded, she's getting everything. You've got your lone man. He's on his own. You've got your Queen of Swords on her own. You've got the Seven of Pentacles on his own. Four of Pentacles on his own. Nine of Cups. Is she on her own? Kind of, but she's not. She has got within her what she needs. And whether that is a pregnancy, whether it is belief in yourself that you can get the job that you want, that you can do what you need to do, keep going, pile ones, because it is coming through. It's coming through for you, and you will have it in the end. That was a nice one. I enjoyed that pile one for the Sage. So moving on, pile two, the Stone. Let's see where you're at, what's going on, what's your overall... Yes, indeed. We got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands for pile number twos. That is rocking for me. You have got a lovely moment where you are going to have all... Oh, sorry, my watch keeps going off, and I like to be able to see that I am still going and I'm still on screen. So you have got Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. Now that for me is a moment of getting really good at starting something new, finding your way through to your heart space, finding your way through back to your emotions. And this, this could be a case of reconnecting to someone that you love. It could be bringing in someone new. It could be finding a way through. But I feel like it's more a case of overall, your message is if you feel like you need something and you feel like you want something, you've got the ability to do it. But you need to remember that. It's very easy, to get bogged down in thinking what we don't have, and particularly like the Instagram generation, feeling like everyone else has got it going on and everyone else has got everything, and you look at people's profiles and you think, oh god, like they've got all that and I'm sitting here at home on my own on a Saturday night. Good, we should be staying home on a Saturday night currently, maybe not. Anyway, but you've got it. It's all coming in. This is a really good overview. Like, you've got the ability to find what it is that you need and to get those emotions flowing again and open up. And maybe this is a case of finding the words you need to say to someone to explain how you are feeling, rather than expecting them to just know. So in your in your headspace, I think this is what's holding you back, pile twos. You've got the Two of Swords, which for me is very much in this deck about inner turmoil. It's very much about fighting yourself, trying to work out what is the best thing to do, being indecisive. And what that's matched with is the King of Cups in reverse. And that for me is, the King of Cups should be very much about being in control, being so balanced, so in control of the emotions. So unbelievably like loving and giving and being able to give from a place of advice. But right now, where this indecisiveness is coming in, where this indecision, this, you know, inner angst, it's knocking you off of this. And it's you know, you need to remember that you know, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? You need to remember that that love starts from within. And this is why in your headspace, you've got things going against you, that your blockage is coming from you not feeling up to yourself, not feeling like you've got something to offer people, not feeling like you've got everything that you need. And in your heart space, let's have a look at that. Okay. Deep breath. You've got 3 cards for your heart space. Your central card you've got is the 5 of Wands. Now that is all about the conflict, isn't it? It's very much like there are, again, feeds back into the battles of this 2 of Swords. So you, in your heart space, you are really conflicted, and what you're conflicted between, which I am actually really enjoying, is on the one hand you've got this 9 of Pentacles, which is the lonely card. It's, you know, that side, lovely, all very set up. This side is a bit more, you know, it's a confidence in being on your own, but it is kind of lonely at the same time. It's that moment of, like I say, not having anything to do on a Saturday night, thinking everything else is wonderful, everyone else is having a lovely time. But the thing you're also battling with is the Lovers. So again, you've got the Ace of Cups, you've got the King of Cups, you've got the Lovers cards there. There is definitely some love in the offering, but it's down to you to decide on an emotional heart level whether that is what you want, whether you want this union and this love, or whether you are okay with this lonely road. And there's no wrong answer to that. It's very important to remember that you can be okay on your own before you need anybody else, and that's all good. You don't want to feel like you're not okay on your own, because when you feel you're not okay on your own, that's when things become an internal struggle, and that's when you throw yourself in, you become codependent, and you feel you need somebody else to, like, it's that phrase of going, you complete me. No, you don't complete me. I complete me. I complete myself. What I have once I'm complete is something I can offer to other people. Once you're complete, that King of Cups won't be in reverse anymore. That King of Cups will be upright, and you will have all of that. But it's down to you at the moment, pile 2s, to remember that you've got the path there. Like the very first thing, your Ace of Wands and your Ace of Cups, is you have got the path with that Ace of Wands to sort this loving scenario out. But it is, you know, it's down to you. Okay, and your final card, got that 5 of Cups, and I adore this, because this is not, you know, your traditional disappointment 5 of Cups. This is a case of remembering how far you've come, sort of remembering what you've left behind, but also, you know, like the cups that he's leaving along the way. It's a little bit, you know, Bugsy Malone, Tallulah. You know, I'll try to leave a little reputation behind me. Leave a little bit. Remember the people that you've passed along the way, and you know, that could be, you know, if we're looking at it in a relationship perspective, it could be remembering, you know, you've had relationships, they might not have worked out. I mean, if you're single right now, they obviously didn't work out, but you've learned something from that. That person has learned something from you, and you've each provided something to the other that was really, really lovely at the time. So it didn't work out. You took that step forward. You moved on. You left that behind. You've transitioned into the next thing. And yes, you've still got a way to go. But this guy, you know, he's not sad when he looks at where he's been. He remembers where he's been. He's aware of where he's been. So my advice for pile 2s, I think, is to remember that you can find your way back to love. You can find your way forward to love. But it's down to you. It's down to you not to forget the past, to keep remembering it, but while also not dwelling too long in the past. You know, like he's not moving back. It's like that whole rear view mirror thing. Like if you spend too much time looking in the rear view mirror, you have an accident. Hopefully you're not having accidents. Anyway, pile 2. Thank you for the stone pile. Right, pile number 3, third and final. We got the shell for the seashore, which I'd like to say I can remember which seashore I got that from. It was somewhere in the UK. Who knows? Okay, so what's going on overall for pile 3s? Okay. So we've got the 8 of Pentacles with the 6 of Swords. This is full on progress for my pile 3s. You have got some absolute momentum of just getting your head down, working hard, doing what you need to do, like ignoring the distractions around you, whether this is, you know, working on yourself, whether it's dedicating yourself to a job, to a course of study, university degree, homeschooling, you know, maybe it's even not even something as large as that. Maybe it's actually, you know, you're just going through a cookbook that you've had for ages. I mean, how many of us have got cookbooks at home that you buy it, you're like, oh my God, I love this cookbook, I need it. 3 or 4 recipes in, totally goes on the shelf, you forget about it. Until you think, oh yeah, I'll go back, and then you make the same few recipes. Maybe this is a moment for you to make some progress and actually go, yeah, I can expand my rep. I'm going to try all this cookbook. I'm going to try all the recipes. And this is going to give you that wonderful sense of freedom and accomplishment and achievement. You know, like with the 6 of Swords, it's very much that coming up for a breath of air. And that is a lovely emotion, because it's, you know, on the one hand, it's, you know, it can be when you felt trapped. It can be that you felt a little bit like underwater, but also like you think of those moments where you have, you know, where you set off from one end of the pool and you just keep swimming as long as you can. And that in itself is also an achievement. Like however far you think you could have got, how much further, like if you didn't quite make it to the end of the pool, again, celebrate how far you did get, because some people wouldn't get that far. So that's the kind of overall vibe for pile 3s. What's going on in your headspace? So you've got the Magician in reverse with Page of Swords. Now, that for me is a little bit of... I feel like in your head you're getting a little bit, again, het up on what you've got, like how far you've got to go. It's a bit like this, you know, this work that you're putting in. You're doing it, and the reward is on its way, and you've got to remember that reward is on its way, but at the moment it's not quite manifesting up to where you feel it should be, and as a result you're kind of looking back, double checking what you're doing, like questioning yourself. You know, maybe it's if that is for you, it's to do with like inner work, to do with relationships. It's a case of going, well, you know, I've been doing this inner work and I've been studying and I'm so close to this progress, I'm so close to it, but it's just not quite there yet, and that's making me question what it is, and have I made the progress that I've made? Do I need to be, you know, should I be further on than I am right now? I don't know. It's just, I feel like in your headspace you've got a little bit of conflict in wanting to be the Magician and wanting to have everything, and maybe you feel actually like you don't have all the tools at your disposal that you need. You don't have everything in order yet, and that will come from that 8 of Pentacles. Like, you know, you keep doing the work, you keep putting it in, it will come. It's just at the moment it's not quite there yet. Now in your heart, oh God, you've got the Page of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles both in reverse. So it's the second page. So you're definitely, for you pile 3s, I definitely don't feel like you are confident enough that you, in your own growth, in your own offerings, you don't feel in a position yet to be able to succeed. Because, you know, again, Queen of Pentacles, love. I normally I find her quite forlorn, but I really like this one because she's very confident in her throne. She's very confident in what she has. But at the moment, you're not quite there. So you need to keep carrying on with the work. As I say, keep coming back to this 8 of Pentacles. Just do the work. And it's very easy, I think, when we're going to use a cooking example again. So, you know, the recipe might not taste quite as good as it looked on the Instagram video that you watched. Bosch TV, love them. You know, my Bosch food never turns out quite as good as it does. I'm not a chef professionally. Although my dad was, sidebar. But I feel at the moment for pile 3s that you're still in that level of, I'm learning. I don't know it all yet. But that's not a bad thing. It's good to accept that you don't know everything. Like I always think, you know, a friend of mine said it once years ago about someone, you know, asked her how this other girl was on a job, and she said, you know what, she just hasn't reached the age yet where she can realise she doesn't know everything. And that is something I think I say a lot to people, where I think, you know, when I look back at when I was 18, I handled things completely differently to how I would handle them now. At 28, I would have done the same. Even at 38, I still would have handled things differently. Now at 39, I'd look back and I'd think, yeah, you know, if I knew then what I know now, what would I have done in that situation? And actually this, you know, this Page of Cups is also a case of going, well, you know what? I don't know it all yet. I don't have enough. I need to focus. I need to practice. I need to get that studying done. And your final message, you've got that Eight of Wands, and I adore. I mean, I know I say this about a lot of cards, but I really love this one in this deck because it's very much. It's like that moment of just keep going, just keep marching on, keep walking, keep celebrating who you've got around you, keep focusing. Like, you know, like the people will gather. You know, she's got all these animals around her. Your tribal company, you put that work in and you do what you need to do, you will find other people who have the same emotions, the same feelings, the same excitement about what you do. They will keep you excited. You will keep them excited. And maybe from that you'll grow. Maybe you'll get these pages out. These, you know, they'll go through the levels. You'll get into the kings and the queens. But you've got to keep going, pile threes. You've got to keep moving. And maybe on the one hand, get moving. You know, because like this Eight of Pentacles is you know, it's quite a static card. He's sitting, he's putting, you know, he's building up. He's putting the books underneath him once he's done them. With that Six of Swords, again, you know, that's the progress card. It's wonderful progress. But this Eight of Wands, I just want another moment for you to look at that one, because I just adore the way that she's got her head up, shoulders back. She is proud of what she's achieved. She's marching her own path out, finding her way through that forest. And you've got it there, pile threes. It's just a matter of keeping doing the work and keeping focused on the progress. Anyway, so that's this edition of Pick a Pile. Let me know how that resonated for you in the comments down below, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care. Bye.